Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your energy check-in. Today we're doing a special edition reading. I'll be honest with you, I was going to dedicate today's reading to the full moon in Cancer, and I've been building up that topic during the week, and it is a big deal and I'm very excited about it. But I remembered that there's actually another significant event in terms of the planetary transits that's happening this weekend. So even before the full moon, because the full moon is peaking on Monday. Before that, our nodes are changing, the lunar nodes. The north node is moving from Aries to Pisces, and the south node is moving from, what is it going to be? Where was it? What is it? From Libra to Virgo, there you go. And this is pretty significant, and it's significant for me as well because my north node and south node are in Pisces and Virgo respectively, so this is a big deal. I've been waiting for this time for a couple of years now. I knew it was going to be huge, but it is going to be big for the collective in general, and I wanted to dedicate this reading to finding out in what way. What do we need to know? What can we know? What is this change? And it is a big change, and it's happening. It's going to stay in the sign for another 18 months, for the following 18 months. So it's just moving this weekend, January 11th, and it's going to stay there for 18 months. First of all, every change like that is a pretty big deal, right? Because if you remember, North Node is showing us our karmic path, showing us the kind of the challenge / fulfillment that we're moving towards in this lifetime. When the current transit changes for the collective, it basically changes the tune, the theme, the questions that we're working towards, right? And not only does it change, but in this particular case, because it's moving backwards always, it's moving in kind of like retrograde direction. So if you look at the zodiacal cycle, it's not like Aries, Taurus, Gemini. It was the other way around. It was Gemini, then it was Taurus, then it was Aries, and now it's Pisces. But since Aries is sign number 1 and Pisces is sign number 12, it moved from 1 to 12, which essentially is like this huge leap, right? It's not just like the signs that are close to each other, usually they have certain similarity, right? It's kind of like a gradual move, and now we just moved from a very self-centric sign, very much about me, myself, and I, to the sign that's all about cosmos, about the universe, and our place in it, in so many various scenarios and aspects. So that will be felt for sure, especially for light workers, especially for twin flames. So without further ado, I want to see the questions I'm going to be asking. I kept hearing giving and receiving. So my main questions are going to be around what are we actually receiving with this new setup, with this new nodes, right? Like what is the value that we're getting out of it? What are the nodes going to show us? And then the second question is going to be what is asked of us, what is required of us, what are we bringing to the table. And the third question is going to be essentially the next step, right? Like what can we do next to be in alignment with the energy, to make the most out of it, at least at this stage. And of course, keep in mind that we have other planetary transits. Things are going to be changing, energy in the collective is going to be changing, but let's think and speak about here and now and where we are on this important threshold with the nodes. I will start with an oracle message, and I'll do the oracle message for each twin separately, but then I want to do this as a 9-card reading, so it will be for both twins. And I do feel that it's important to do it at this point that way, so I'm just using my discernment and divine guidance that I'm receiving for this. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a reading for the full moon in Cancer, and there we're gonna talk feminine and masculine, and what are we releasing, what kind of scenarios are we cleansing. I'll talk a little bit about water rituals that you can use, etc., etc. So Definitely check in tomorrow for that. But today we're talking North Node, South Node. And just a quick reminder, North Node is something that we are learning in this lifetime. Hence, it takes us outside of our comfort zone. It's something new for us. The South Node shows us the cluster, the gift cluster that we already have. It kind of comes to us naturally. So because I actually have my nodes in Pisces and Virgo, I can actually speak to those things. But like, let's say, I think North Node is more or less understandable, right? South Node, Virgo. So an example is, it's easy for me to create a plan, to create a structure. My mind is thinking like in terms of structures. It quickly breaks things down, right? Okay, so they have this goal. I was just talking about it in Mindfully Awake. I have this big goal. How do I break it down into smaller steps? It's also about discipline. It's about habits. It's about like daily, consistent action. It's easy for me to stay consistent. I mean, of course, I need to have enough motivation about the goal. I need to put some effort into it, but it's fairly easy for me to stick with it. I mean, let's take biomechanics as an example. I've been with the program and with this instructor that I'm working with for almost 4 years now. And I've just recently stopped following her program, mostly because she stopped doing live classes, which were like the main reason for me to keep doing it. But I'll tell you what, like, let's say it was 3.5, right? Let's even round down. But for 3.5 years, I was showing up for those classes, and we had 5 classes a week. Yeah, there were occasional moments where I had important appointments or I wasn't feeling well, where I would skip it. But that was maybe like 3% of the time. Everything else, I was planning around that schedule. That's how important it was for me, but that's also how committed I was. That's an example, and that comes naturally to me, right? Because my South Node is in Virgo. Also, Virgo and Pisces are axis of healing. That's what they're called. Pisces is more about emotional healing, so mental health, topics of, like up to like asylums and psychiatric wards. So it's like exploring the range of different psychological states, and mental health. And if we're speaking about healing, it's about emotional healing. Virgo is the it's the Hermit card in tarot, if you remember. It's the healer card, but it's on a more physical level, right? So that's where we talk, I don't know, herbal remedies, or even healing through movement practices, right? Even meditation to a certain degree, right? Maybe kinesiology, Reiki, right? Like, those would be examples of Virgo energy and healing through your body. Nutrition, healthy nutrition, anything around it, that would be Virgo energy for sure. So, feminines, your card for this reading is number 3, allow your work to become your art. Right, we keep talking about these big topics and archetypes, but it essentially comes down to what does it mean for you, and like, learning new things, embarking on new journeys, and also making use of things that are familiar to you, that you have inherited from your past lives as a South Node. And you need both, by the way. It's not like, okay, that's my comfort zone, and people say it's not cool to stay in the comfort zone, I need to get out and aim for the North Node. Technically, yes, but there's a lot of nuance around it. And the biggest one is that you're not supposed to just throw away that knowledge. It's highlighted for you for a reason, for you to be able to use it while you're building that North Node path, right? So how are you going to apply it in your light work, in your own personal growth and spiritual path? That's what matters. That's what I'm hearing with this right now. What do we have for masculines? Number 24. Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. Yeah, so whenever you're in doubt, synchronicities will be guiding you. They will be showing you what to pay attention to, where to look, what to focus on, really. I'll use Telema deck for the main read. I'll lay out the cards, and then we'll speak about them. So for the first question was about receiving. What are we receiving? What's the value of this nodal change for us? We see 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. Wow. and the Wheel of Fortune. What is expected of us? What are we given? The world. Very interesting, right? We're receiving Wheel of Fortune, we're presenting the world. We'll talk about this in a minute. 8 of Pentacles and 4 of Pentacles. And even with the elements, very interesting, right? Because what is expected of us is the Pentacles, is like the resource, you know, the energy, the time, the money, what have you, the effort. What is given to us is the Sword, so it's that emotional clarity and healing. And then the action, the advice for action, we see 5 of Pentacles, the Death, and 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Alrighty. 5 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So what I can say even before we dive deep is this is really going to be a time for feeling the presence and the belonging to the community and maybe to even humankind at large. That's Piscean energy, really. But at the same time, understanding how you're different. You know, those topics with star seeds, different types of entities that we represent, like where is our soul from, that from some ancient civilization, right? It's like seeing that clarity, how you can be both at the same time. What makes you human? What makes you an alien on this planet, essentially? So when it comes to what we are receiving with this nodal change, we see 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and the Wheel. And it's very interesting, the Wheel is number 10 actually, so you almost have a sequence of 8, 9, and 10. We're ending the suffering, we're ending the struggle, we're ending the doubt with this. This is the time when we're receiving this deeper sense of safety and trust in the destiny, in the universe, in being guided, right? In the divine having the best plan for us, much better than we have for ourselves. And when you know that, that makes you stop the anxiety and stop self-sabotaging. It's like, I just need to surrender, right? And I'm doing my best every day. And that's enough. And I'm enough. Because I'm here for a purpose, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be going through all this stuff. So this is exactly what is needed. And it's almost like imagining that you're in a video game, right? And it's just this new level, like, okay, so what kind of choices am I going to be making here, right? Who do I want to play? How do I want to strategize this? That kind of idea. But more than anything, the deep trust in the universe, in, you know, however you want to call it. Destiny, a lot of people don't like that word. Luck, again, sounds a little gambling, you know, gambling vocabulary. But believing your higher power is important, whatever that is for you. The next one, so what do we have here? We have, this is what is being asked of us. We have the World, and then 8 of Pentacles and 4 of Pentacles. Another interesting sequence, because we have 8 and 4, and that's 12, by the way, and the World is 21, 12, 21. So what is asked of us is to stop playing small and stop kind of calculating, right? Stop trying to see, okay, if this is beneficial for me, if this is going to bring me profit, then I'm going to do it. If not, then I probably won't do it, right? Or thinking, yeah, I need to be careful because, you know, like I have XYZ responsibility, and then staying small in your life. And it can be very much about finances, but it can always also be about other resources. So just considering one scenario, just yesterday, I think, and it's a story that's very close to me, and it is about a person who essentially got married to someone for quite an average, quite a mediocre life, where they were destined for a big one. And it's like, well, you know, when you agree to something mediocre, when you're downplaying yourself and what you deserve and what you want in life, you know, once you have that, it's not even an illusion of stability. It is a certain stability, but you're only playing like, you know, certain percentage of what you could be. In this case, actually also shows 50%, you know, 4 and 8. You're only playing at 50%. You only get in the emotional fulfillment at 50%, right? But while, once you do it, it's hard to just say no to that because it's already something, right? Like with this person, I have this 50%. At least I know what to expect. It's stable, it's there, and it's good. I might have 100 with someone else, but I have no idea how that would work out and when and, whatever. So I'm just going to stay where I have my 50% and I'm comfortable, right? So we are releasing that necessity to stay in the comfort zone just because it gives us certain sense of safety, right? We're asked to close those cycles, to start seeing the world, seeing yourself as part of the world too, right? And changing your perspective on things. Maybe even learning from different cultures, different nations, people around the globe. And finally, we have the advice for next steps. And again, we see the progression from 5 to 10 through death, through the transformation. So that's really where your jackpot is. By the way, 10 of Pentacles in this deck is a lot more about environmental protection and consciousness than anything else, right? It's not your usual, getting a lot of money. It's not even your usual community and family building, right? It's the planet, taking care of planet Earth. And we see so many cataclysms these days. We see wars that devastate the planet, like a lot of stuff. And we need to change that mindset, right? That's Pisces for you, right? How do we see our place in the universe? What's our responsibility as a global community? And that's what's going to bring you the abundance you're looking for, right? So this is moving from lack mentality of like, I need to get as much for myself as I can today, ASAP, right? And I don't care about tomorrow, what's going to happen then. Just today, I need to survive and I need to get mine. And transformation towards what matters in terms of the global society, global community, and in terms of Mother Nature. Moving your focus towards that global consciousness is going to transform your life in many different ways. I love this reading so much. To me, it's very hopeful. It's very interesting how the elements play out, this numerology stuff that we just saw. It all shows us a kind of closures on some cycles and, changing the tune, changing the storytelling of what our life is and why are we here in the first place. That's, by the way, one of the big questions that Pisces is responsible for, to help us identify, what do I believe in? What is my connection to other people, including to entities that we can't see necessarily but exist around us? All of it is super fascinating. I'm sure we'll come back to it again. If you'd like me to do more tarot on this topic, maybe asking different questions, please let me know in the comments. And of course, as always, I appreciate all your likes and I appreciate for you to subscribe to my channel if you're new. And until next time.